Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Genie, and it's Genie's Signatures. I welcome you all to my channel, to my tutorial for today. So today we'll be making this beautiful two-in-one top with that straight skirt, but I'm not going to be showing the tutorial on how to cut it straight because I have lots and lots of that on the channel already. So the main emphasis is going to be on this top and then the net part. So it's like a two-in-one. So if this is what you're interested in, please kindly sit back, relax, and enjoy. Sorry about that. So as you can see, it has an asymmetric length, that design in the front. So if you're wondering how this came about, please just exercise patience and then watch this tutorial to the end. Thank you all. So now the first thing is for me to draft this on the basic, I'm so sorry. Draft this on a paper so that I'll transfer to the fabric later. So we're going to be making use of a princess dart bustier. I don't know why this cough came about now. Sorry about that. So if you don't know how to cut a princess dart bustier, I already have detailed tutorials on how to go about that. So you can do well to check out my channel, and you're going to be seeing loads of tutorials on how to cut a princess dart bustier. So for this tutorial, I'm really not going to be saying much about it. As you can see, I'm not even explaining that because once you check my channel, you're going to be seeing loads of tutorial on how to achieve this princess dart bustier. It's quite easy. So just go ahead and draft yours, and then after that we're going to be going over to the main area of emphasis, and that will be how to get that design at the front of the blouse. So if you have any questions, please kindly feel free to ask me in the comment sections. I'll be there to oblige to the best of my ability because nobody knows it all. We're all a work in progress. We all learn. So please kindly feel free to leave any beautiful comments as well. So I'm almost through with the drafting. So because the blouse is going to be getting over to the hip line, so that's why I'll be marking the hip line right there, divided by 4 of course, and then add the sewing allowances respectively. So now for the neckline, for the width I'll be making use of 3 inches, 3.5 inches, and then for the neck depth I'll be making use of about 6 inches. So this is going to be like a sweetheart neckline. So you can see that I'm trying to check it to confirm, to ascertain the way the neckline looks before drafting it out. So just draw out a sweetheart neckline with a bit of a curve around the neckline like that. And then around the shoulder area or the armhole area, I'll be coming in by 2 inches from the armhole area. So you know this is going to be worn on the net. The net is going to be cut separately, and then this is cut separately. So you come in by 2 inches and then carve it out like so. And so we're basically through with the drafting. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out. So I'll cut out the middle piece, the center front. So just go ahead like that and then cut it out. Notch the under bust so that when you're sewing, when you're transferring on your fabric, you won't run into problem. And then you carve out the neckline like so. So now this is what we have. So now I'll go ahead and cut out the back. So for the back, I will not be cutting on the paper. I'll just go ahead and draft directly on the fabric. All you need to do is to just draft out a basic bodice for the back. Get the length of the blouse, get your shoulder, your armhole, your bust, your waist, your hip measurement, and then you input your dart. You can make use of any method of choice for your dart, but you're going to be seeing the way I used mine. Add your zipper allowance. If you want it to be a corset loop at the back, you can go ahead and do that. Just don't add your zipper, and then you remove extra 2 inches from your body measurement, and then you can now go and create loops for the back if you want it tied. But my client wants a zipper, so that's why I added a zipper. So the bust span measurement divided by 2, that's what I marked right there. And then I went up by 3 inches from my hip line, and then 1 inch from the chest line, and then did the darts. And then of course I removed my zip bulge, so I'll just go ahead and then cut this out. So this tutorial is quite easy. If you're a beginner and you don't really understand how to cut a princess like bustier, I would implore you to please kindly go and check out my channel. There's a detailed tutorial on how to cut a princess dart. So I'm basically through with cutting of the back piece, as you can see. So for this dart, I'll be sewing it like this on each piece. I'm not cutting it out. So this is the back pieces. So now I'll go ahead and cut out the front pieces, which I've done. So you can see I've gone ahead to cut this out. So I'll open it up for you to see. So you can see the way it is. This is the front piece, the middle piece, and then these are the sides pieces. So I'll go ahead and attach my wadding, and then go ahead and join it together, and then I'll be back to show you. I'll turn it with lining, and then I'm going to be doing an inseam closing anyways. So I've joined this separately, the main fabric separately. You can see the dart at the back. The length of the blouse, I didn't know that it was not up to it, so I had to extend it like that. That's why you have that joining there. So in order for us to get this pattern in the front, that's what I'll be explaining. So right there on my left hand side, I'll go up by about 2 inches, and then on the second dart area, that is the second dart on the right hand side, or is it the left? I beg your pardon. You just go up by about 6 or 7 inches, and then you use your artistic idea to do this, and then you connect like that, and then you bring down the other one to the other side like so. So it's quite easy. There's really nothing so difficult. Just be creative. This is why they say fashion is creativity. You need to be creative. So you don't just stay in one corner. You need to be assertive. You need to learn how to create and then think out of the box. You understand? So that is me cutting out the shape like so. If you want it to go higher, you can go higher. So now just trim out this side and then cut it out like so. So now for the tutorial, the picture my client sent me, I didn't know how the back looks, but I just felt like it should be something almost like the way the front looks. So that is why I just thought of it like this and then decided to make the back piece like this. And it came out really nice, yeah. So you can see the way it looks. So we've gotten it. So whatever I did here, I'm going to be repeating it directly on the lining as well. because I'm doing an inseam finishing. So I'm trying to loosen the temporary stitch I made for the zipper. So I made use of a Duchess fabric anyways, so that's why it's looking shiny and fran. You know the way Duchess is. So this is what we have when you open it up. So I'm trying to cut out the excess sewing allowances on the sides like so. So I'll introduce my lining now. So for the lining part, I made a mistake here. So I had to, off camera, go and readjust it because the side for the left was for the right and the right was for the left. I believe you understand what I was saying. I was supposed to place it like this and then cut out, but I made a mistake. So I just had to go and do it off camera and then turn it out with the lining. So please be very careful when you're doing this kind of design. So you can see I've gone ahead to turn it, but I did that off camera. And as you can see the inside, I had to cut out that part and then join another lining to make up for that place so that I will get the exact shape. So this is what we have. So the next thing is just to go ahead and then fix my zipper and then use the bias to turn the armhole because it's going to be armless or sleeveless. And voila, we're through with the tutorial. For the top, it's very easy. Then you give it a very good press. So now for the net part, that is just a basic bodice. You really need nothing so difficult about this. I just decided to add this as a bonus because there was a style I made at one point and I add this kind of style in it too. You need, it's like a turtleneck, yeah? So that is basically what this net is all about. So if you don't know how to cut a turtleneck, I also have it on my channel. So please just head to the channel and then scroll or just kindly check Gene Signatures playlist and you'll be seeing all my tutorials in one place. There's no need for you to be looking for it up and down. I have a playlist already. Just go ahead and then look for it. You'll be seeing all the tutorials there. So thank you. So I'm just trying to, so for your turtleneck, the neck width, I'm making sure that this net is a stretchy net. So you need to be very careful because as you're sewing, it's going to be expanding. So if you want to make use of your turtleneck width, I would advise you use nothing less than 2 inches. Don't use more than 2 inches because if you use more than 2 inches, by the time you're sewing your turtleneck is going to be getting wide and it's not going to be turtleneck again. It's just going to be gapping on your neck. So when you want to make use of, you just use between 1.5, 1 3/4 or 2 inches max. But for this tutorial, I'm making use of 2 inches. And then for the depth for the back, I used 1 inch, and then the depth for the front, I used 3 inches. So for the length of the top, like so, I'm using it all the way to the hip line because this is going to be tucked in, and the other plain black is going to be worn on this one. So that's why I made it like that so that by the time you tuck it in, it's not going to be flipping out. So the length is equally important in this aspect. So I'm cutting it out now because I'm cutting both the front and the back together. So for the back, I already added 1 inch for my zipper allowance. And then I'm sloping in the shoulders like so. And then for the front, I raised it up to cut out the neck depth. So for the back, I'll just remove 1/2 inch as usual to avoid zipper bulginess. So we're almost at the end of this tutorial, but I'm not going to be showing you how I sew this because it's very easy. Just join by your sewing allowances and then do your turtleneck and then fix your sleeves. I'll be showing you how to cut the sleeves out right about now. I'm not going to be showing you the sewing tutorial because it's very easy. You don't need any lining. It's just going to be a plain net like this. You can use your camisole to wear it. Even if you don't have your camisole, you can wear your bra like that and then you can wear the black top on it because it's going to be covering it. So I just want to cut out this sleeve. So this sleeve is just the basic sleeve and then it's a long sleeve. So I already also have visited tutorial on how to do all this, but let me just show you how to cut that out, just like a jara. So for the length of the sleeve is 24 inches. And then you add your sewing allowance of 1 inch. So I'm cutting both the front and the back together at the same time. So go ahead and cut this. Fold your sleeve based on your armhole measurement plus 1 inch. And then you come down for your cap side by about 4 or 5 inches. And then you carve it out like that. And then you come to the length of the sleeve. You divide your round sleeve measurement by 2. And then you add 1 inch sewing allowance and then you connect. So this is just like a sharp way of doing it. If you want a detailed tutorial, just check out my channel and you're going to be getting that. So I'm cutting this out right about now. So we have come to the end of the tutorial. I really appreciate every one of you. Thank you for the love and God bless you. And like I always say, this is Genius Signatures and I'll be signing out. Thank you and God bless you. See you all on my next tutorial. Kisses. Ciao. Bye.